In the low to mid 80s, and then cooler weather arrives Wednesday with possible showers, and it will stay unsettled into next weekend with highs mostly in the 60s.
Welcome back to the New York Times Close-Up. Joining us now, Dr. David Orries, who's profiled in this week's City section by Brian McDermott. He may see more than the usual share of knife cuts at his Lower East Side office. That's because his practice caters to restaurant workers. He sees his nonprofit healthcare cooperative as a model for how national healthcare could work. Now, let me ask you, people pay you what they can afford to pay you. How can you afford to live like that?
That's a great question, and the answer is I'm a member of a group called the Lower East Side People's Mutual Housing Authority. They have 21 buildings, low-income housing. And where I live and my office are both under the auspices of that agency. So my rent is about $850 a month, low-income rent. Therefore, I can be very, see people for what they can afford.
Brian McDermott in the Times describes this organization as sort of like a food co-op, but involving healthcare. Is that a fair description?
Exactly, yeah. I've been practicing medicine about 10, 12 years on the Lower East Side, maybe even 15 years. It goes by fast. And over the years, I've taken care of many, many restaurant workers who don't have any access to health care. I noticed a couple of things. One is they wait too long. They're sick for too long, and then by the time you see them, they're much more sick than they would have been had I seen them 2 weeks earlier. I won't go into the details, but that's roughly the picture. For example, a cut in the hand could become infected. Now it's more complicated. It would have been easy had I seen them earlier. Mm-hmm. The question, do I need stitches? Do I not need stitches? Will this cough go away, et cetera, et cetera. So about a year and a half ago, I got the idea. I had a point of view that was unique. The restaurant, the single restaurant, they're so busy, they see their workers, their restaurant. Now everyone has that kind of myopic view, or normal view for a restaurant. But I see 50 restaurants, all with the same kind of problem. 15, 20 employees, no access to health care. So I formed a co-op modeled after a food co-op, where the restaurants all chip in a little bit of money per month, and we take care of all the workers from that account.
Is this something that could be replicated in other neighborhoods or just David Orries? Oh,
it could be absolutely replicated. It's a microcosm of how national healthcare should work. The biggest, most important, crucial fact to get across is the difference between a not-for-profit healthcare and for-profit. Once something's for-profit, everything flows from that position. You know, they have to make money, they have pay out dividends, they have shareholders, and the decisions are all based on making profit. The pens they use, the fees they charge, all flows from how much money we can make, which is normal for profit. You expect that.
Let me ask you, smoke, you ride a motorcycle. What kind of doctor are you? Don't you care about your health?
I care about my health, but I care about my life too. I mentioned before, people who live perfectly healthy don't live longer, it just seems longer.
Now, what did you do before you went to the Lower East Side? How did you wind up there doing what you're doing?
As a child, my grandfather's a tailor from Poland, the old country, war survivor, along with my mom, who's also a physician, Dr. Celia Orries. And as a child, he took me down to Lower East Side to buy stuff to make suits, little bits and pieces. It was all Orthodox Jews, and it was just like Dr. Seuss. It was a beautiful, magical place, and I think it still is. I like that there are people there from all over the world, and everyone gets along swimmingly. It's a really wonderful place.
You talked about expanding to other neighborhoods too. Are there other doctors who would be willing to do what you're doing, or would you have to do it yourself? No,
I think it will catch on. The way this works and the way it should work is little micro farming or micro breweries. You could, one doctor could handle a zip code or maybe two of all the restaurants, probably. Then other doctors can replicate this because $50 in money from, say, this fund, the restaurant worker fund, is worth probably $300 of insurance money. And you're doing a great, great service for these people because they can't go to, if they go to the emergency room to find out, just to find out what's wrong with them, it's $2,000. That's what, a month's work. If they miss 10 days of work, they don't get paid when they don't work. So it's very important to see them quickly, early, and easily.
Quickly, early, and easily, and you say the goal is basically to keep them out of the emergency room and to keep them from coughing in your salad, both.
Both, yeah. You keep them healthy. It's good for the restaurant. It's goodwill for the restaurant. The workers have a place they can go when they get frightened. They have a skin lesion. It could be skin cancer. A breast lesion could be breast cancer. They don't know. What are they going to do? Just wait 6 months to see what happens? From the point of view, it works much like it works exactly like a casino, is the best metaphor, the roulette wheel. From the casino's point of view, if 1 million people bet $1 each, the casino wins. Invariably, absolutely, immutably. Now you might win or lose a single bet, and that's why health insurance is a complete scam. They get you scared that you might, for example, break your leg or have some kind of heart attack or injury. So if you don't have health insurance, you'll have to pay all this money. But from the point of the casino, they don't care who wins. You know, if you know you're going to have, say, 100 broken legs per year that cost $1 each, that's $100 for sure. What you don't know is who is going to break their legs. So it's called actuary statistics. Now, if you know there's going to be 100 broken legs and you need $100 to cover that, you should collect from your population $120 maybe to cover all the broken legs, not knowing who will break their leg.
And it doesn't matter in that sense.
Doesn't matter because you're paying for it. That's how insurance companies get over. What they do is collect $50,000 from the population to cover what they know for an absolute fact will be $100. And the Restaurant Worker Healthcare Cooperative is the reverse of that. We collect the money into a common fund, which is open to everyone. It's an open, transparent accounting. We take money from that as needed. Everyone can see what we're doing. There's no profit, no shareholders, no dividends.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. David Orius. You can read the essay and see the photos by Brian McDermott in this week's The City section of the New York Times. Our Reporters Roundtable convenes right after these messages.